In this time and age, we all have an addiction. Some have an addiction to alcohol, drugs, food. But there's one addiction that we all have in common. Many probably don't want to admit it. Many deny it. But we all have it. And I don't really need to say what it is. You can just see and know what it is. Can you remember what you used to do in the morning before checking it? Before you had a smartphone? Can you remember what you did when you were standing in line before you had a cell phone? Can you remember what you did before you went to bed, before you had a phone? Just sit and think about that for a moment. Well, I'm going to cure my addiction and free my mind.
Hi, my name is Wanjiko. Welcome to the show Internet Junkie. Today we talk about internet addictions and how it affects us in the 21st century. First of all, we'll introduce our guests, starting with my guest to my left.
My name is Calvin Omata. I'm an addict for the internet.
Okay, my name is Hilary Nyamache. I'm not an addict of the internet.
My name is Rina Awiti and I'm an IG model.
My name is Reino Detela, the Lion of Africa, and actually I'm an advocate for internet usage, but not an addict.
Thank you so much. Now, I would like you guys to talk to us about the internet addictions, how it affects you, and how it has affected your relationships with people.
Internet is very good, but then it is harming
How you
our
consume
health.
it? How you consume it?
Exactly, but you know,
It's your personal problem.
the person I'm talking about now. It's you is now addicted.
But now look at it this way. Look at it this way. Me, I'm addicted positively. I'm not a sadist. I'm not mental illness. I don't have any mental illness. I'm not depressed. I'm not.
Excuse
Me, I'm
me,
not
sir,
sick.
it has made you more
You should go
arrogant.
to a
from
I'm even more arrogant. Yeah. So I don't
Because
care.
you have
I don't
a
in real life.
following
In
and
real
you're
life,
trying to
I
get
don't care.
people
I don't care.
to
Trust me.
believe as you
me, I
have no
don't
product
care.
and your
As long as it's not my problem, you go.
Tense, angry, can't get online. Internet addiction is now a serious public health issue that should be officially recognized as a clinical disorder according to research. Internet addiction is no longer a punchline.
Many people they met either Facebook, either somewhere first before they started talking. You just don't approach someone
I
just
also
talking.
know a
You
couple
can be a
who are
terrorist,
married on Facebook.
but there are very few compared to nowadays. Nowadays, many people have dated online than offline.
It's a serious mental malady that has gained acceptance from the scientific community, says Professor Ngure Wamachofi. According to him, a significant percentage of the Kenyan population feels disconnect anxiety when away from the internet or their cell phones, an extensive research effort indicated in his book, The Discursive Nature of Technology. Excessive gaming, viewing online pornography, emailing, and text messaging have been identified as causes of a compulsive impulsive disorder by Professor Mwachofi. The author of a page on discursive nature of technology, Mwachofi argues that the disorder is now so common that it should merit inclusion in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
Attempt to explain the paradox of technology being presented as the servant for us society, and then sometimes it turns out to be the master. So we see the decision where it was science and technology are meant to be active, and when we use it to impose what I call a therapy, then we need to act according to the protocol.
Madame Akosa Wambalaba, a French lecturer at USIU Africa University, shared similar sentiment on the impact of addiction to technology, saying it has 4 main components: excessive use, which is often associated with a loss of sense of time or a neglect of basic drives.
When there is internet addiction, it means that not only can you not do about it, but it harms you, because an addiction causes harm. That's why it's viewed negatively. Socially, it affects them in the sense that they isolate themselves, because their feeling of happiness only comes from being on the internet. And you know, we are human beings, we all search for happiness. So for them, they end up putting all their source of happiness is from the internet. So even in the home, you find a child is alone in a bedroom. Then they're very irritable because they're not able to mix well with other people, because they have decided, instead of having different sources of happiness, meeting friends, playing tennis, going out, everything is in one. And the problem with that is that when anything is excessive, and that's what addiction is, it harms you and it harms other people. So the love of the internet is so excessive that they are jailed in the internet.
According to a psychologist at USIU, Ms. Lucy Congo, new evidence shows that heavy users suffer isolation, fatigue, and withdrawal symptoms, as many users are addicted to their phones or an app or some new show on a streaming video service like Showmax or Netflix.
We have a problem with internet addiction, where young people are on the internet much of their time, leaving them with very little time to do the most important tasks in their lives.
And let me say this. The moment you'll understand that the sex that brought you was done by a human being, the carrying of the 9 months carrying you in the womb was done by a human being.
Artificial insemination.
but wait. I love that. But the insemination you didn't do by yourself. Somebody did it. It was obviously a doctor.
But those are the only people I care about. Those are the only people I care about.
Then wait.
Blood.
The person who gave birth to you was a human being, right? The person who fed you was a human being. Who took you to school was a human being. The person who will wash you when you're old is a human being. The person who will bury you is a human being. So you cannot dismiss people.
The young people, remember, developing, and they are at a stage of a lot of discovery. They want a number of questions answered about the areas that they are curious in. So we have had some users negatively affected by internet use because, one, like I said, they are on the internet much of their time, day and night, and this has affected their sleep patterns. Some of them are on sites that are I would say, are a threat to their proper growth and development. Sites like pornography, sites like those ones that, even recruit them into radicalism and, violence, sites that make them not be very confident in who they are. So we have had a number of young people affected negatively in terms of even their self-esteem. Once they look through what content we have in the internet and they don't measure up to it.
But for some people, technology gets in the way of daily functioning and self-care. We are talking flunk your classes, can't find a job, live in a dark hole kind of problems with depression, anxiety, and sometimes suicidal thoughts. Unsurprisingly, some young sufferers or internet addicts get anxious over the aspect of being out of touch with realities of life, leaving them in dilemma.
People are on dates, but then their phones are on top of the table,
Yes.
but looking up.
Yeah.
Or they close it like this, but it vibrates. You see? This is what we are talking about. Of course, internet is so good. You see?
Yeah.
It has made me billionaires, actually in dollars, not in shillings. It has created personalities that we now follow, including the Wamlambes and all those. And now, but then we are not saying it is bad. What we are saying that the usage of internet is killing the the reality of human confidence. You understand? So people find it easy to hide behind a phone, abuse somebody over there, but then now confront me.
Because it's illegal to fight. In most cases, assault is...
You see, at least Hash is cute in real life.
Yes. For her,
you know Hash is
if
cute
I would
in
meet
real
her,
life.
I've seen her part
If now we don't know who Lena was, and we just see pictures on Instagram, then we meet her for the first time, and we're like,
okay, there are those exceptions. There are those
exactly.
exceptions. I accept.
And there's
even
leave that part alone for the face. Because you've seen her, you like her.
Yes.
Maybe she's blown you off, that's fine. There's always a second chance.
Yes.
But now, what if you actually get to know this person and she's shallow?
Exactly. And then you realize,
just
look,
leave it now.
Look here, bro. You've spent a whole, maybe 3 months or so chatting on WhatsApp, and because on social media,
there's live
people will post to you what they want you to see.
Yeah.
People want, I will never tell people I'm this kind of, I have this kind of idiosyncrasy on social media. I will hide, I will look this way, I will talk this way, but then when it comes out into the reality, where the rubber meets the road, you find something else. So will you start saying, oh, I was not serious with our chats, let me just pull out?
Mobile devices might be great for social networking, but extreme devotion to Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and Instagram, amongst others, can lead to serious stress, cautions Madam Lucy, Madam Akosa, and Professor Machofi, providing some tips for dealing with the impact of technological advancement.
Use the internet for more learning, for productivity, and even for a better life.
Remember the word balance, because everything that is too much is bad, even water that we drink. You know, you drink too much water, you could easily die. If farmers decided you guys can eat your computers, I guess you wouldn't be able to eat them. You'd probably abandon them.
Although technology has taken over the world, some people have refused to be swept by this phenomenon, while others have become accustomed to it as compared to traditional days when the internet was non-existent.
Still agree with.
Even to ladies. They're not
Use
for a
whatever
reason.
you got to get what you want.
Yeah. But then the question that we really need to ask ourselves, that yes, I have faked it, and now I've made it. But how many people are struggling to fake it because they were maybe not able to hire the same things I was hiring, but they want to look like me because I faked it until I made it.
But it's their problem.
But
it's
even,
a new age.
no.
You don't care about the rest. It's about me. It's about me. If I make it, it's my problem. If you don't, it's your own. It's your own problem. Hey, try harder.
On the same note,
nothing comes easy.
Nothing comes easy
So
at all. So when you're saying now it's about me, are you okay over here?
Yeah, that's the question.
Are you mentally
It's
healthy?
about me.
Are
As
you
long as I'm
psychologically
good
healthy?
and my finances
Just
fine.
because you're getting money does not mean
That's your
you're fine.
That's your problem.
Since now we're on this issue of health,
You can
how
be
does
assigned.
it affect
All you're
you
doing is
mentally?
So are you an internet junkie or not? Whatever you feed your mind is what you become. For Internet Junkie, I am Wanjiko Tuko.